You're listening to the Tatiana Show, podcast edition. Welcome to the Tatiana Show, and today I have amazing, beautiful, talented, smart, and genius tech expert Miss Alicia Hall, and she is the CEO of Millennium Tax Services. If you haven't heard of it, look them up on Facebook, like the page, share it. Just look it up, Google it. Millennium Tax Services, like the page.
New Orleans.
In New Orleans. If you we about to start a show talking tax reforms, and hopefully educating someone on what they don't know or even what they were confused about. So Miss Alicia right here, please let the people
Hey
welcome
y'all,
you.
nice to be here. Thanks for inviting me, Tatiana.
Of course. I have to have you in because you are an amazing spirit. Besides
Thank
just
you.
your knowledge, you take that knowledge and you want to use it for good. You
Yes.
take that knowledge and that your spirit leads you to want to do good with it instead of taking it to be greedy.
Yeah.
Instead of taking it to be evil and
Yeah.
spiteful and and controlling.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I love that, and I would thank you for being here.
Thank you too, Mama.
Yes. So we have generated a couple of questions over the course of the days that are basic questions about taxes and tax reform that people may need to know. So the
Yes.
first question is, how is tax money generated?
So tax money is generated from us, the taxpayers. We pay taxes, and those taxes help to run our society, run our schools, or hospitals, or healthcare programs, or education programs, social programs, whatever is there that would benefit us as people in the society. That's what your tax dollars goes towards. So we are the generators of taxes.
Wow. You hear that? So we make taxes possible.
Yes. It's
So,
your money. It's our
your
money
money.
as taxpayers.
So the next thing that we may want to know is a tax related word.
Okay.
What are exemptions?
So exemptions are deductions like that reduces your taxable income. So an exemption reduces the income that you are taxed. An exemption. So on Form 1040, you can subtract a certain dollar amount for each exemption you claim. So each exemption right now is $4,050. But as of December 22nd, 2017, when President Trump uh, passed the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act. That's the name of it. The Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, TCJA. With that tax reform, these exemptions have been deleted. They don't exist anymore.
Do y'all hear that?
So those exemptions, one of those exemptions per individual was worth $4,050. Those exemptions have been eliminated. So this will affect people that used to like file taxes and put their children on. And then each child would be a certain dollar amount. Now each child is not worth anything. It's zero.
Okay, let's say that one more time for people. Okay, so when they come with the child, how did it used to work?
Okay, before tax reform, each person that claimed an exemption on your tax return was that amount was valued at $4,050. Now with tax reform going into 2018 until 2025, I think is when these rules go until that time. Those exemptions are done with. It's zero. No more $4,050. No more exemptions.
That means
it's gone.
You could have 5 kids. It don't matter if you carry all 5 of those kids. You're not getting money back.
Penny.
You're not getting a penny back for any of the kids that you carry on your taxes.
Okay, but what tax reform did though was they increased the standard deduction, which for most people, most income groups, that has changed as well. Before we had head of household, single, married filing jointly, all these different tax categories, right? Now that's broken down to single, head of household, or married, whether married filing jointly, filing separately. So if you're a taxpayer, before as a single taxpayer, your standard deduction was $6,350. Now it's $12,000. Uh,
Y'all,
before
y'all hear that?
$12,000 for your standard deduction. It went from 6,350 to $12,000. For a head of household, it went from 9,350 to 18,000. Okay, for
Mm.
your standard deduction. So next, if girl, I'm
It's
just as
getting real
excited
out
as
here.
you.
Do y'all hear this right now? What is
Then
coming?
married filing jointly, their standard deduction used to be $12,000. Now it's gone to $24,000 for married filing
Do they
jointly.
know as soon as January, that's when it's gonna really get into
Yeah,
play?
that's when we're
That's
gonna
when
really
feel
see
it. No, not see you. You
everything.
gonna feel it
Yeah,
then. Don't
that's why I'm
stop it. You
telling
gonna
people
feel
do the
it.
small business.
Mhm.
Make sure you're planning to offset
Mhm.
your taxes because a small business reduces your tax liability so much and might even result in you getting a refund where you would have had to pay taxes.
You hear that? You
Hmm.
hear that? All right. So the next question is, how can I get the most out of my taxes?
Well, like we said, your tax return is a roadmap to wealth.
Mhm.
The only way to get the most of your taxes is to become educated about that 1040. Become educated about the terms that are used, tax deduction, standard deduction, tax year. Become familiar with depreciation, the different tax terms, the different tax categories. Once you do that, you not only become a better taxpayer, you become a better customer, you become a better citizen. Because doing taxes is not about the IRS, it's about you doing a yearly checkup of your finances. And if you have a business at the end of the year when you file taxes, that is an opportunity to gauge the progress of your business. So at the end of the year, when you go to get your financial statements and balance your financials, income versus expenses versus whatever else, you're able to see a roadmap. You're able to see a picture of your financial health. You're able to see whether you're healthy or you're sick financially. And then you're
Mhm.
able from that roadmap written down in front of you to make the changes you need to make in order to like you said, uh get the best
After taxes.
out of your taxes.
Mm.
Become an educated taxpayer.
Well, I don't want to overwhelm you guys with too much, but that's all the questions that we have. But before we go, Miss Alicia did align me on a very small piece of information that you guys can start today, as of now, as you go on your jobs. It's called the W-4. What is
Yes.
it that tell the
Okay.
people about that before we head
So
out?
the IRS is urging taxpayers to get a paycheck checkup.
Mhm.
So what this is that you're gonna go to your employer and you're gonna ask to have a paycheck checkup, which is to have your withholding taxes, which includes your social security and your Medicare taxes, have those taxes recalculated because with tax reform, President Trump has lowered
Mhm.
uh, the tax brackets
Mhm.
for each income group. So people should be seeing more on their paychecks and should be paying less taxes every month. So if you've not done a paycheck checkup, you're still paying extra taxes, which translates to you giving the government a tax-free, interest-free loan for 12 months,
Mm.
all year.
So basically, she's saying, in case some of you guys may need it down on like regular terms, like myself, people like me. Basically, in the sum of words, if you go to your employer and ask for a W-4 for a check up, that you can get more money back.
At least $50 more, President Trump says, per month. Each worker should be seeing at least $50 more on their paychecks as a result of getting a paycheck checkup.
That's all you gotta do. You hear that? You
And
should
this
be.
is the IRS telling you, they're saying, we don't want your money. Go get a paycheck checkup. Pay the right tax. This is the IRS begging. Since tax reform, they've done like a bunch of videos. Go and get your paycheck checked up. Get that extra money. Keep it in your pocket. Don't overpay. We don't want your it. In fact, the IRS is saying this would be illegal. It's incorrect for you to be paying the wrong tax because a part of the taxpayer bill of rights that the IRS has, 10 taxpayer bill of rights, is one of the rights that you have as a taxpayer is the right to pay the correct amount of tax.
We doing this all summer long. We telling y'all how to make millennium money moves.
Yes.
So don't worry, we're gonna be back next week talking the same thing, not the same thing, but along the same topics, tax reforms. Telling you guys the updates, the changes, and everything.
Self-investment.
Yes,
wealth building.
We doing it all. So don't worry. But thank you guys for listening to this episode. Thank you, Miss Alicia,
Thank
for
you,
being
Tanya.
here. Oh, you're welcome. And thank you guys, and we'll see y'all next week. And we're out.